Good morning and welcome back to BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today I'm joined once again by Ian Matheson to find out what's been going on in the world of logistics. So Ian, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you, Brooke, and I hope you are too.
Yeah, as always.
Good out. Well, I'm afraid it's going to be quite a long episode this week. There's been a lot going on in the last few days, and I apologise in advance for the length, and hopefully lots of people watch it. Anyway, I think Mark Twain said, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes," and I think that's appropriate given what's going on at the moment in the freight and logistics sector. And again, this week's news contains some common themes around the continued uncertainty that hangs over the sector. Of course, President Trump's return to the White House brought some immediate policy reversals in several areas, but his promises of new tariffs from day one did not occur, although I suspect they could be just around the corner. The freight and logistics industry, of course, still needs to keep its eye closely on what is decided in regards to those new tariffs and how they may affect the flow of cargoes to and from the world's largest economy. I think it's a little bit ironic, actually, that he's planning to kick off a sort of new era in tariffs, just as it became clear last week that China still dominates global manufacturing, probably greater than ever before. According to a report I read in the Wall Street Journal, China's just posted a trade surplus of US dollars 1 trillion for 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, it did. And the gaps between exports and imports is now 3 times what it was in 2018. The publication actually reports that China accounts for almost 30% of global industrial production, and that share is on the rise. So for Washington and its allies, it suggests that efforts to reduce the dependence on China are coming up short. And of course, we know that the Chinese suppliers have responded to measures from the USA and other countries by finding other customers, subsidising its factories, and working around the levies by moving production to other countries.
And so far it looks like that would have kept China's factory floor intact.
I think that's the case, yes, but there's also, closer to home, there was some mixed messaging from the government last week when the BBC reported that Marios who's the EU Commissioner for Trade, suggested that that the UK could join the Pan-Euro-Mediterranean Convention, which is a customs agreement which I think aims to harmonise trade rules across Europe and North African nations. When that was reported, the UK's EU Relations Minister, Nick Thomas Symonds, ruled it out, whilst Number 10 said it wouldn't cross any lines. So, as I say, mixed messaging. As you're aware, there is ongoing research on a reset of relations between the UK and the EU. So it sounds like all the politicking of the Brexit negotiations could be about to re-emerge.
Yeah. And of course, BIFA members have just spent a lot of time and money implementing new border procedures, so I can't imagine they'll be too happy if a lot more changes come in as well.
Well, Brooke, yeah, that's absolutely correct. I don't know if you saw last week, there were some reports that Rachel Reeves could back plans for the expansion of UK airports to help fuel economic growth within the country. That's a plan for a third runway at Heathrow, a second runway at Gatwick, as well as expansion at Luton. She even went as far to say that confirmation of the expansion plans is expected in the coming weeks as part of a swathe of announcements intended to drive that economic growth.
Well, let's just hope that those come to life then, because I know the delay of expanding Heathrow, I mean, that's been going on since before I was born.
Yeah, indeed. Probably before I was born too. In the air freight arena, let's stick with air freight. The Air Cargopedia newsletter reported that according to Market Research Future, which is a global air cargo publication consultancy, the global air cargo market is expected to reach some US dollars 217 billion by 2032. So that suggests the future looks promising. And the market research people, they said that technology is one of the reasons why, even though the mode hasn't always been known for being at the cutting edge of digital transformation, that's why it looks promising. I know that IATA has flagged digitalisation as a key focus area for air cargo, and that is slowly progressing, starting with more data integration, which should give more visibility and help with sort of control and over the business decisions, and I know that data sharing, which provides sort of better digital access to inventory and capacity in the real time, can inform a whole heap of other processes. The most obvious one, of course, is the creation of better booking systems with up-to-date information on costs and availability.
And of course, we have to include AI and robotics into that as well, don't we? It's something that we see grow more and more in this industry.
Indeed, it is, yeah, massively, especially in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Last week, the European Commission asked BIFA to alert members to important changes in the EU entry procedure for goods transported by road and rail, which will take place on the 1st of April this year. From that date, the European Union's customs pre-arrival safety and security system, the Import Control 2 system, will require rail and road carriers to provide data on goods sent to or through the EU prior to their arrival. And that's through a complete entry summary declaration, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm. And like Ian said, the BIFA website does have this article, so there will be a link to more information in the description.
And there's another important bit of change coming up, of course, and hopefully BIFA members are already well aware of it, that's the 999L waiver code will be withdrawn from export declarations later this week, which will mean several changes to declaration completion requirements as a result of updated tariff measures.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's more information on that as well on the website, which will also be linked below.
Good. The highlights from the recent Freight Service Awards ceremony are now available and are well worth watching via the link in the panel below. And I understand there will also be extensive coverage in February's BIFA link, which will be landing on members' desks in a week or so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And like, Ian, filming at the awards, it was something that was new for us this year, but I know it's something that Natalie and I thoroughly enjoyed. And like you said, it is well worth a watch. And of course, more information on the 2025 competition will be coming soon. So to be the first to find out, please make sure you are on our mailing list. You can be added by contacting us. The email will be in the description below.
And finally from me, Brooke, there's a heartwarming story to end this week's edition. I guess you saw the news that following the implementation of the ceasefire in Gaza, the 25 crew members of the car carrier Galaxy Leader were released and transferred to Oman last week. I mean, those innocent victims have spent over 430 days in Houthi captivity following their November the 2023 capture in the Red Sea. 430 days. Nobody should have to endure such an ordeal. And it's about time we all spent a little more time when we're at the checkout in Sainsbury's recognising the magnificent work done by seafarers to keep our bellies full.
Yeah, of course, and I second that thought as well, Ian. Thank you so much, as always, for bringing these news articles to our attention. The links to everything that we've discussed will be in the description below, as always. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information.